you hear me? Okay, lots of thumbs up over here. Okay, thank you. So means apa nama at my end and your end juga should be okay lah Fine. Okay, good. Right. So let me share apa nama the attendance here. So currently for section 2 34 out of 44. Okay. So if you are here please check in lah ataupun log in to e-learning and scan the QR code for to log your attendance. Okay, for section 2 34 out of 44 and look at another section 1 38 out of 41. All right, so the letters here is Hazman, Afiful Hazman, right? So 2 missing, 3 missing, plus for this one another 7, so 2 plus 3 plus 7 10. Okay, right. So we continue to this particular topic. All right, so you can see my screen, right? Okay, so this is the QR code and the slides for today's topic. We will cover line of balance, so still under the main topic of project planning and management tools and technique. Okay, so line of balance is one of the tools and technique used or as practiced by the construction planner or project manager out there by using the line of balance. So what we will study today is basically the application of line of balance, when and how it be used dalam any, or is it basically in what type of projects, right? And then we have in-house in-house tutorial lah. When I said the in-house tutorial means step-by-step process on how we conduct calculation of line of balance. Okay, so I also mentioned just now calculation. So this particular topic under project planning management tool and technique is another parts of calculation by using the simple mathematics. Okay, and then we have coupled with the slide lecture. This is continuity from this, the case study on line of balance. If you click on this particular link, I'll extract the some pages related with line of balance from the author named Cook. Okay, and this is the another part of the book. Okay, this is on link. This is the document, and then the calculation of line of balance from another textbook, so should be available. Okay, the next one, the immediate immediate plan for us today is a week 6, right? So next week we approach mid semester test, which is the week that we dedicate for centralized test lah, to conduct test yang berpusat. Okay, so all of subject or under Department of Quantity Surveying, we conduct test lah. Okay, yang test ada test lah, ada some paper yang without test, such as a full 100% coursework, so tak ada lah. Okay, so for this you can see I prepare some infographic for you guys to see, or to extract the information from here in one pages. So they have a 4 or 5 steps lah basically, right? So the assessment will be conducted online, right? And then the time and date for this particular test, our test will conducted on 29 November, scheduled on Monday, 5 p.m. Right? So I will given the time slot by Dr. Hadi as a coordinator, program coordinator. So they put 5 p.m. Okay. All right, and let's see the process. So you will start with e-learning. So you log into e-learning. So I hopefully everyone here been familiar with the e-learning. Okay, because last week I've been contacted by one of the person here on the students cannot log into the e-learning, but I hope it's resolved already. And then scan the QR code to scan your attendance for the test. And then you'll be given the link to download and read the question paper within 5 minutes. So basically, it's about 2 questions. Okay, you have to answer all, right? And I put the password here, the security. So the password should be given via our WhatsApp group. Okay, SBQ3732. So everybody in there. So the password will be given to you. Okay, shortly after you download. And then you'll be once you open the question paper, you need a piece of paper, a single line A4 paper, preferably. Okay, and then write your names and section on each page of the answer script. And because we require you to use a paper based test. So this is not the computer based punya test lah. Means you cannot type in apa sebagainya. So everybody use the paper format. And then we give you 60 minutes. Okay, once the 60 minutes over, you will be you will required to scan or snap the photo of each answer script page and then convert it to PDF. Alright, so I hope you prepare yourself in terms of how you scan the picture, and then from the picture of your answer script and then convert to PDF. You can download using you can use free available Acrobat Reader, okay, and even the web-based Acrobat, okay, PDF formatting ataupun PDF converter. And then once you have a single file PDF, because that particular system, the link that I put only permitted for one single page, one single file, not one single page, one single file. So let's say you have a 4 or 5 pages, and then you compile and then put under single pages and name it doesn't matter, because when you submit to the e-learning or link given, so automatically is the submission tu under your name. Okay, so basically tak ada masalah kalau you put whatever names dan sebagainya, not specific format. Okay, for to write ataupun to rename ataupun to put your file's name lah for this answer script. And then upload your answer script within 10 minutes. So once I give you 60 minutes, so I give you some time, okay, untuk copy dan sebagainya, untuk scan dan sebagainya and PDF, and within the 10 minutes, so you upload to the e-learning. Make sure correct answer, not correct answer lah, maksudnya correct answer script that you write in ataupun you buat. So you upload, jangan tertinggal. Okay, kalau tertinggal, basically within the 10 minutes, so you have to notify me. Okay, unless the appeal not be entertained lah. Okay, so I think this is the straightforward lah. Okay, so this is the link for test question. So this is the the punya explanation on what I explained just now. And then the upload link, okay, upload your answer script here. So you can see from here, the link only accept submission from Monday, 29 November, 5:45 p.m. So means 15 minutes before you the time given finish, so you can start uploading. Right, and then we give them 10 minutes, maksudnya 10 minutes after the time's up lah. Okay, only one attempt of submission. Okay, after that you'll be have a mid semester break lah. Okay, right, any question on that?
Doctor.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm Joel. Last week, doctor say that we're going to cover the theory part and the calculation part, right?
Yep. The theory part and calculation part.
The scope is from week 1 until week 5, or
week 5 lah. Okay, week 5 lah, not today punya week.
okay. Or week 1 to week 5. Okay, thank you, doctor.
1 to 5. Okay, all right. Thank you, Joel.
Okay, doctor. Thank you.
Okay. And the next one, before I forgot lah, once I put the slide for lecture. So nanti kan I takut I miss something. Alright, so next one related with this. Okay, even Dr. Razali remind me to upload to the e-learning, but not yet. Okay, but this one is a group assignment. Okay, this is the group assignment given to you guys. Okay, the details of the project brief tu nanti you can read by your own lah. Okay, but the important information here is related with how we conduct it. Okay, so this particular group project assignment require you to work in group. Okay, so you can see from here, work in a group of 6 students. So but yeah, the with exception of one group that is allowed to have 3 member ni bukan, ni I lupa delete ni. Okay, so you have to work in a group of 6 students. So when I count the total number of my students here, it's about 84 something. Okay, so 80 plus lah. So and then you can form your own group to a cross section. Okay, you can opt for section 1 and section 2 as your team member. Okay, and then your team must comprise of different gender and ethnic background. So you can see have Chinese, Malay, Indian dan sebagainya lah. Alright. And then the project brief, you can see the same approach that we conduct about last 2 or 3 session ago. Okay, why we conduct this particular the format, because we want you to cover all of you as a student in our class here to explore and have some information related with specific topic, right? And then at the end of the project ni ataupun of the coursework, you are required in the group to present to do a presentation. Okay, to do a presentation. So means the information, the findings that you get from this particular coursework should be dispersed ataupun shared among you guys dalam satu session, cover both section. So means that's give us some lots of advantage and opportunities lah to you guys to understand from others. And then apart from the theoretical part or even giving the lecture from during the session, so you will be able to have a confirmatory lah ataupun from the practitioner on how that particular, for example, project planning tools and technique carry out or practice dekat luar from outside. And then for specific question related with HR, human resource, for example, the organizational behavior or organizational structure. So means you will test that particular question tu with the confirmatory explanatory type of question lah, to the decision maker, to the planner, to the manager out there dan sebagainya, right? So the time given to you around up until week 14. Okay, so we are now week 6, so we have another 2 months to conduct it. Right, so not more than 30 pages, so means I expect you guys to have about 20 plus up until 30 pages lah, excluding appendix. Appendix tu can be your picture, can be your web construction site punya picture dan sebagainya, right? So I believe that even you are at home ataupun at scattered lah in Malaysia macam ni, so means you tak boleh berjumpa, access dan sebagainya. But what we have advantage at the moment here, so we can conduct a hybrid meeting with the specific person that you targeted as a respondent, and then you can conduct a meeting with teammates, the group member, okay, via call or video call dan sebagainya, right? So the question given to you, we have one according to the topic lah, 1 up until 14, okay, up until 14 topics. And then the more important part is no duplication of topics allowed between group. So means when I calculate just now, so when divide by 14 times 6, let me check 14 times 6, so you got 84. So let's say adalah yang seorang tak cukup satu, ada yang boleh permitted to have 5 members, or can be permitted to have a one group member 5 or 6. Okay, so mana yang 7 tak boleh lah, 5 or 6. So the ideal way is of 6 number of group member dalam satu team. So the submission require you to have a report and video. So even you can see we have a 14 group letter, okay, 14 groups letter. So means for all the 14 groups, because of time consuming, if we have one dedicated time slot ataupun time frame dalam lecture nanti, dalam contohnya macam for minggu 14 or minggu 15, so basically you are required to present, but from my experience and Dr. Razali experience, orang kata apa, there's a gift, kata apa, the time consuming satu lagi the focus of you listen to another presentation is not there, right? While you are busy to prepare your live presentation, so you are ignoring some important finding from other groups. So what we require you guys is to record your video presentation with all your team members contribute on it. Okay, so the marks proportion for this particular report and video 15% each, right? So means for this particular coursework with video presentation, the percentage is 30%. Okay. So how you record your presentation, you submit through the video link given to the e-learning lah, right? So the percentage mark and rubric, so this is the very important. You can see from here the report 50%, and then you can see the weightage for this particular report ni. For example, kalau you nampak kat sini, the most important part is on case study and evaluation of report, how you conduct, you do finding dan sebagainya. So this is 9 out of 15 lah, right? So this will give the more weightage on this. Okay, and then for the video presentation, like I said, the total here is 100%. So you can see if you divide by 5, you can see the 3, 5, 5, 5, and 6. So 6 out of 15, still the important part is the content. Okay, what the topics you covered, okay, according to the explanation, the clear explanation and so on. Okay, so in terms of how you submit the video assignment, so I call it as under video assignment. So I given you the 15 minutes, so means 15 minute maximum. So we have a 14 group, so we have 210 minutes. So divide by 60 minutes, so basically we have a 3.5 hour. So that's why you can see the 3.5 hour that if we given you 50 minutes. So kita nak cari masa yang 3 jam setengah tu untuk one dedicated time slot is not there lah, ataupun kena cover 2 minggu dan sebagainya. Alright, so that's why and then with the reason that I explained just now, with the group busy preparing the material during the live session, so you're ignoring some other finding from other member. So what we need from you guys is to record and upload your complete video file and then submit to the e-learning, but on a private mode setting. So means I can see and Dr. Razali can see based on the invitation lah, maksudnya you submit through the link and then we can access first, and then when we okay, we require you to put in the public dalam at least dalam e-learning punya portal, right? So e-learning punya portal, right? Okay, so this is the submission lah, the submission on how and then this is the resources or guide that help you to submit a video assignment. Okay, so there's a guide, the tools available, right? So I believe that with the recent technology, so you can film ataupun you can tape your video presentation with a very good and smooth. Even my daughter yang 9 years old pun can do lah, and I ask her to help me lah. Okay, and then advice on producing your video, so you can read on your own. So try to have the structure lah, ataupun the storyboard, the storyboard, we call it as a storyboard. Okay, the submission deadline the same, and then the most important part is don't submit late. Okay, because the penalty of 10% of the mark allocated for the assessment is deducted per day. Kalau samalah macam LAD dan sebagainya tu. Alright, okay. So you can start from a group later. Okay, once I post this to the e-learning. Okay. Any question on this? Ada soalan? Okay. Tak tengok lagi benda tu. Tak apa. Nanti kan I put in the e-learning later after the class. That's why I want to put here, put up here. So means you can see lah the content and then the what we expect from there. Okay. So in terms of the presentation, so you are the master. So what I'm saying is a master means you go to the project, you have access to the information from the project or case study or the respondent that you interview or to have a contact. So means at the end, what we expect, we means me and Dr. Razali expect from you guys is to explain to us, and not only us, but to your audience, which is your friends, your colleague over in the class on the specific topic given to you. For example, if you require to find how and when the decision making techniques available, that the application of decision tree dekat particular project or case study, explain the process, the scenario, macam tu, right? So and then the step by step being clear, that's the main focus of the case study, right? So no need to explain in terms of the theoretical part of the case study of the topic, of the the theoretical part of the topic lah. For example, decision tree, you cover about the history ke, you cover about the from the from the books and so on. We don't want that. Okay, if you want to mention it, so just put that in the report. Okay, so that's why I said report and video give the same weightage. So the report will cover according to the weightage given to you just now. And then for the video, solely on the the findings from the case study or the project or based organization. Okay, so that's 15 minutes that we expect from you guys. Okay, all right. Okay, so let me go to the topics today. Line of balance. Okay, so we are at 11:30. So I guess the topic for this line of balance not so long. Okay, it's about 45 to 1 hour only, right? All right. So you can see from here, as I said earlier, let me tape or record this for your nama, for your future use lah. Okay. For this week 6, okay, so we will cover the topic of line of balance, right? So under topic line of balance ni, the punya information or the acronym we call it as LOB, right? So LOB or even the names given to different practitioner ataupun different construction planner dan sebagainya, some call as a lobster, some call as LOB, some call for ada satu lagi tu line of balance, but let's refer back to the graph yang sengit lah, so you can see later after this. So means you can see from here, yes, the sloping bar chart we call it, some have said sloping bar chart, because the sloping reflect to the what we call it as a progress rate of that particular activities dalam construction project activity tersebut, right? And then you can see a lot of name being called for this similar ataupun same type of project planning tools and technique lah. Okay, and then you can see Why it's useful? Because this gives you some idea on how to track the progress of activities ataupun unit of produced by that particular activities lah, right? For example, the activities to reflect, the unit that produced to basically is should be the punya some of the major requirement here under line of balance is should be identical. Okay, should be identical or similar step. For example, remember during the construction project, you can see some of the projects or activities require repetitive works. Okay, for example, you can see if you construct or you build a 10-story height of building, 10-story height of for example the apartment. So you can see we have a similar pattern for first floor, ground floor, first floor, second floor, up until the 10th floor. So means what? The envelope ataupun the external wall have similar pattern of design of windows, openings ataupun the doors dan sebagainya. So when you construct, so basically you can predict and then you can have some range of estimating a time, okay, versus the activities. So for example, let's give some idea to project manager or planner. So one unit ataupun one floor of apartment ataupun one story floor tu apartment, how long it takes before can proceed to another level or another story, right? So means let's say about 40 weeks ataupun 40 weeks lama sangat. So basically about 8 weeks, okay, for that one particular story to move to another story. So means kalau kata 10 story, so you calculate how many times dan sebagainya, right? So that's from kata apa, you can see from that particular analogy that given to you ataupun the scenario given to you is look like simple. So you just to understand how many numbers atau how many days or how many duration of that particular activities or unit. So you times how many numbers or unit dan sebagainya. But in reality, there's some sort of activities require different time ataupun different different time lah. So example, kalau you kata when we learn previously, kalau kita kata how you determine the project duration. So lots of idea or factors related to it. Antaranya ialah ada yang according to the project specification, for example the concrete curing. For example, kalau kata concrete curing takes about concrete slab, for example, takes about 28 days before it can be removed the formwork. So another thing is about the productivity rate of the labor, the number of gang, the number of workers, the machine available, the method of work, method statement. So in reality, there's a lot of things that required to determine the activities or duration of each activity sebagainya. But when the activities to combine together under one unit, to construct one unit, so that's give idea to the planner or construction manager to use the line of balance. Okay, so line of balance basically you can see from here is enable tracking progress which the identical unit ataupun the repetitive similar step of the unit tu along the timeline. Maksudnya kita tengoklah how the progress to start from day one up until the required time given by the client or by the client lah ataupun the developer dan sebagainya kalau yang that particular project. So from there the idea is to see either the total duration, number one. Number two is to see is either the progress of activity tu behind or ahead of schedule. Kalau you come across with nanti dalam your LI nanti, your internship in next semester, you can see the information related with S-curve. S-curve ataupun dalam S-curve tu means duration versus time activity versus timeline. So you can see the S-curve tu can see how you chart your progress. Some gunakan financial ataupun cash flow menggunakan S-curve, some using the monitoring of your work activities dan sebagainya, right? Dalam line of balance you can see the ideal relationship is like this lah. Okay, so number one you can see from here we have a sloping line, sloping bar chart lah. Kalau you can see the sloping bar chart, where we can see A, B, C, kata apa, A, B, C itu related ataupun can be represent activity. Okay, activity A, activity B, activity C, right? So remember previously, kalau kita belajar CPM, activity on arrow, activity which is the network diagram, precedent diagram semua tu kan. So we have to determine the work breakdown structure ataupun the interrelated activities yang berkait untuk siapkan satu the whole one project. Okay, in this particular line of balance, you can see A, B, C. Maksudnya ialah apa? Activity A, activity B, activity C. Maksudnya activity A start first as a successor, and then as a predecessor for activity B. Means A followed apa? B A after once finish, B start, and then once B finish, C start. Macam itulah. So the concept of apa nama the sequence of activity tu still terpakai pada semua project planning and tools and technique lah. Okay, and then you can see X and Y axis ataupun X axis and Y axis. You can see for X axis represent duration, and then for Y axis represent number of units. Okay, so means from 0 up until how many numbers of unit. Can be 10 story, can be 20, 40, related with the units. For example, to make it one column stump, one single column stump, so required apa nama activity, for example, concreting, formwork, reinforcement, let's say A, B, and C, right? So how many number of unit to complete one column stump? Kalau one, maksudnya kat sini 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10. So let's say about this is the 10 number of column stump, 10 number of column stump, which is activity A, concrete, apa nama, concrete, reinforcement, ataupun formwork, reinforcement, concreting. Okay, and then you can check when the progress, so you can see how many numbers of days ataupun week related with the duration untuk siapkan how many numbers of unit. Let's say kalau bisa kata number apa, let's say kat sini 5 unit of column stump, you can see at the 5 units, kalau kita buat satu garisan, you can see A, B, and C. So the progress bit different in term of duration. Okay, A start dah habis, almost finish. B, sometimes kalau you put the some line over here, so you can see B akan start later, right? Macam itulah. And then you can see we have the minimum buffer. Buffer means in line of balance, kita tahu tadi we construct according to the rule in the network diagram. Contohnya macam A start after B, B start after C dan sebagainya. But in line of balance, to see the ideal relationship between how it works, so we put a buffer. Buffer ni means maksudnya ada sela masa lah. Kalau kata pada network tu kata float dan sebagainya kan. But this is not shown over here, but we put as a buffer. Buffer means the time given to change the trade, worker ataupun gang numbers dan sebagainya. Right? Okay, so in this particular process, you can see the similar ataupun repetitive activities or unit that I explained just now can be for the brickwork, plastering, for the rail construction, maksudnya rail kereta api, so ada balas, ada lay track dan sebagainya. So you can see from here, slope ni, which is yang sloping ke kanan ke sini ni, orang kata apa, represent as a rate of progress. Okay, rate of progress. So means you can see the brickwork ni, dia makin lama, which is makin panjang masa dia akan naik ke tingkat lain, 1 tingkat, 2 tingkat. So let's say for example here, first floor is require about 2 weeks. Second floor, 3 weeks, for example. Third floor, 4 weeks. So dia macam tu, right? So kenapa dia tak terus tegak macam ni? So basically, why? Because the construction activity, like I explained just now, require some progress, require some element of working in sequence. Contohnya, for brickwork, kenapa you tak boleh buat first floor, second floor, third floor in same day ataupun same time? Sebab that's require once the brickwork ni cover the wall, external wall, internal wall, and then you have to move to another level. Okay, dia kalau you buat brick construction, dia tak boleh tinggi, dia akan runtuh. Betul kan? That's why you have XMAT, you have to the stiffener dan sebagainya, right? To construct a brickwork. So that's why kata apa, the repetitive multi-story building ni require level by level. So in between the level, they have kata apa, floor beam, and then move up that or upstairs, up there we have a slab, floor slab, and then from floor slab up until the roof beam ataupun the floor beam lah kat atas tu. So that's why the construction tu require this particular progress. Require progress lah ataupun dia punya progression rate ni. Okay, not straight on top macam tu. Okay, similar to the plastering dan sebagainya. And then you can see dalam this particular slide, you can see the brickwork and plastering looks like similar pattern. Maksudnya you can see the kalau you put in the one single line yang straight line macam ni, straight line, you put the straight line over here, look like this kan. So you can see parallel, dia sama je, dia punya lebar je ni, kiri kanan sama. Dia punya maksudnya for example from this point to this point, let's say the gap is 3. This one 3, ni pun 3 and this one pun 3, sama juga. But in the actual site ataupun the actual project, you can see the progress of activities to depends on many factors. Like I said, the number of machine used, the productivity rate of the labor, the number of gang dan sebagainya. So you can see in ideal way ataupun in the real practice, if you put the brickwork like this, so you can see the plastering. If you have the numbers of gang ataupun plastering yang expert ataupun kerja ni skill workers kan, so the time given for them might be faster rate of progress. For example, kalau you nampak ni macam this is the rate yang ataupun kadar the level of progress you can see. But if you put that one skill workers over here, kemudian dibantu oleh 2-3 orang pekerja semi skill, so means even that the plastering tu akan catch up sampai and then dia akan cross this particular brickwork line. So means what? The line of balance give you indicate ataupun give you idea to the project manager or decision maker ataupun contractor, means either the plastering should be slowed down, okay, supaya dia punya activity tu tak bertindih. Kalau clash means you cannot do the plastering without the brickwork. That's easy as that kan. Maksudnya ataupun you have to speed up the rate of progress of brickwork. For example, for brickwork ni, brickwork satu dia buat macam ni. This is the plan. But in actual construction, for example, dalam after the construction manager or planning manager kat site ni chart dia punya progress line of balance on site. So you can see brickwork ni dalam actual dalam plan like this. So in 3 weeks time, so you can see the floor 1. But it take 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks barulah dia boleh start naik atas untuk second floor. So means what? The plastering ni almost sampai dekat dia punya ni. Okay lah. But what if kalau brickwork ni delay dia lama sangat siap sampai touch of this particular plastering. So means the plastering trade ni should be kena give a gap ataupun masa sebab dia tak boleh overlap over there, right? So that's a give indicator to the site personnel ataupun site yang project manager or site superintendent or SO dan sebagainya. The idea on this particular activity need to be start of the progress faster ataupun slow it down to be catch up with the another activity previously ataupun as a successor dia. Okay. Right. So like I said just now, the line of balance utilized in many projects require repetitive or linear project. Okay. For example, kalau nampak dekat Johor up until even dekat utara sampai Ipoh semua tu dah ada KTMB rail track, double track. Okay. So that's require kata apa, how many numbers of progress you can say to your boss ataupun to your project manager. For example, let's say Okay, I can finish in 1 month 10 kilometer, for example. So ataupun in one specific time, so I can say we as target for 5 kilometer. So 5 kilometer, under 5 kilometer of rail track, what required, the element required, the activities required. So you put kata apa nama, yang lay track tu, before you lay the track, so you have kata apa, yang balas, batu dan sebagainya. Kemudian you have to put equip with apa nama, the how many layers dan sebagainya. So in 1 kilometer, it consists of so many numbers of activities. So that's why the land of balance give some idea better than network programming ataupun CPM dan sebagainya. Okay. Alright, so this is what I'm talking about. If you can see the plan in green color, and then from the actual, so this is related with behind the schedule. Okay, so means you can see how we know that this particular event is behind. You can see the time taken to complete this particular planned activity. For example, let's say the progress ni 1 unit, 2 unit, 3 unit dan sebagainya. So if you plot this one as a 1 unit, then for example in this particular green line, green ni, you kata dalam masa 3 weeks. But in 3 weeks, benda ni kat sini, less than 1 unit. That means the actualnya ialah behind the schedule. Okay, alright. So this is orang kata apa, the impact or how it imply to the project manager or the person or user of this particular line of balance lah. So for example, the final paving came to standstill. Okay, kenapa final paving standstill? Because if dia teruskan lagi, so means without the compact subbase, without the element of compact subbase finish. Okay, so means the final paving tak boleh buat kerja. Okay, until the compact subbase ni kena finish that particular layering ataupun do the compaction dan sebagainya. Okay. Okay. So the idea you can understand hopefully. The idea on how it apply and then when to apply. I hope that you have kata apa some idea or kata apa the basic idea lah dan sebagainya. So what's next is we apply the real case. Okay, the real case dalam ni, and then we plot or chart the line of balance according to the scenario given. Okay, right. So you can see after this is the advantage. Like I said just now, rate of progress are shown, repetitive work problem are easily spotted. You can see yang ada yang ahead of time ataupun yang delay. Okay, and then you can see the eliminate the bottleneck. For example, kalau you nampak tadi ada 2 kan. Let's say the activity tu involve 4 or 5, and then with the different progress rate, so you can see semua aktiviti tu semua berkumpul dekat hujung minggu 10 contohnya. So semua akan jadi macam for example like this like this. Okay, 1 line, 2 line, ada 3, 4, semua duduk dekat sini. So this is what we call it as a bottleneck. Okay, so the bottleneck means we understand which one the critical activities. So kalau kita nampak kat sini critical activities, yang slow ni, the compact subbase become the critical activities for this particular paving. Why? Because if the compact subbase tak boleh finish on time, so final paving akan stand still because dia punya progress is slow. Okay. And then you can see helpful in determine minimum buffer size. So means you can see the buffer size tu what we plan during the construction waktu awal as a work program tu. That's why I said nanti saya akan cerita why the work program. Okay. Number 1, when I said determine the minimum buffer size, some element that I said require change of trade, change of the location size dan sebagainya. So that's why require a buffer. Buffer ni maksud gap masa yang untuk another trade come in dan sebagainya. For example, you can start immediately on some activities, but you give maybe about 1 day before the project, the different trade come in. Okay, for example dalam case macam concrete curing. Okay, so bila concrete curing is required time. Okay, required time. So you cannot open up the formwork tu and then immediately start with brickwork, for example, untuk buat brickwork sebelah dia. Okay, so you have to make sure it's casting, the concrete is curing and casting dah kering dan have their achievable strength, and then you can open up. So that's open up time tu yang given the strength casting tu, this is what we call it as a buffer, right? Buffer size. So means kalau kita nampak, okay, this particular project require dah too late, dah lambat. So which one yang buffer yang boleh kita minimizekan? So the project manager can see from the line of balance punya picture tu, so ataupun graph or table diagram sebagainya tu, and then they can identify which one yang can be reduced dan sebagainya. Okay. Alright, so this has been used because of the simplicity, but again, the simplicity applicable for repetitive project ataupun unit or multi-story. Yeah, so the main disadvantage basically is only useful for repetitive work. Otherwise, less or not applicable. Okay, when I said the word program just now, so normally for the building project, when I said building, is a building lah, either residential ke office ke, some of the client dalam dia punya document tender or document contract require contractor to furnish them with a work program. Okay, work program, master program lah, master program sebagainya. But if the particular project require, contohnya macam KTMB, design rail track sebagainya. So what they require for them normally ataupun is up to the client actually. So they can ask the work program in term of ataupun bentuknya project planning tu in term of line of balance. Okay. So means once you graduate nanti you kerja dekat either the contractor sector ataupun consulting sector dan sebagainya. So you can see the different project planning and tools are applicable for different type of project. Okay. Alright. So this is what we call it as step by step ataupun in-house in session punya guide to give you in session tutorial for application of line of balance dalam case studies. Okay, given in the cook yang buku saya kata yang in the e-learning, right? So you can open up ataupun create ataupun buka download from the e-learning tu the cook for this particular subtopic under line of balance. Okay, let's start with this particular scenario given to you. A contractor, so basically the builder, require a program prepared in line of balance format. So like I said, the client requests them to use line of balance format lah. Okay. Even you can see building. So house fall under category of building, but why they not produce in work program? It's normal work program, which is the bar chart dan sebagainya, and then ada CPM, critical path dan sebagainya. But like I said just now, is required a program prepared in the line of balance because which is a needs by the client lah, up to the client. Okay, so the client have fund a 10 house unit, right? So what they determine from this particular activities, so the operation activities lah, okay, ada foundation, external wall for the one typical unit, ada foundation, external wall, roof construction, internal finish and external work, and then the time given over here is stated here lah, okay. And then you can see a minimum of 1 week buffer is to be allowed between the start or finish of any operation. So mean start or finish ni nanti I will explain what does it mean by start or finish. Maksudnya ada yang start we can simply understand. So means kalau we start, okay, start 2 minggu. So we take about 2 weeks to start the foundation, and then at the end of 2 weeks of complete the foundation, so we put another 1 week buffer, okay, to do next external wall. Okay, so yang apa yang saya explain just now can be easily represented dalam chart ataupun line of balance punya graph later. Okay, and then you can see some of idea ataupun the to determine the progress rate, okay, the progression rate of activity tu, saya kata one of the factors that contributing to the progress rate ialah number of gang. Okay, if you have a number of gang yang ramai, untuk berapa banyak kuantiti dan sebagainya tu, so they can come up with the number of gangs. Okay, so in this particular scenario, perhaps you said about how about the layout ke, how about the apa dia punya zone working area ataupun the quantity like a QS extract or take off the quantity from the BQ, and then where is the information in the BQ will use in here. Okay, but again, this is orang kata apa related with the scenario given, which is the contractor. So so the contractor more concerned on the time to be complete and then how to be complete. So how basically is related with how they manage their resources. Okay, the timeline given there, and then the number of gang. Basically, I believe the number of gang that mentioned by this basically is the capacity or capability of the contractor with that particular limited number of resources they have. Remember just now, not just now. Remember in this particular lecture, kita cover dulu dalam optimization. Remember optimization. When we talk about how we balance the ideal way of optimize and operational research, OR. So means let's say the number of gang we require 2, okay, to construct given in 2 weeks. What if kalau kita ada only one gang? So is it the duration can be complete in this particular time given with the one gang? So means you can study or you can have that basic understanding on how the line of balance ni apply dalam this particular project. So that's why bila dalam case study ataupun coursework given to you, one of the coursework given, so I will ask you to have a sample of the work program, can be work program dalam master program, can be in the line of balance, can be in in bar chart or dan sebagainya. But the question is the work program ataupun whatever line of balance prepared by the practitioner, by the practitioner. But for us to understand, the more important part is how they determine the time given, the duration given in that particular activity to complete that particular activity. What dia punya concern, dia punya consideration to determine that particular duration. For in this particular case, in line of balance, the main concern here is the use of number of gang. Okay, so the number of gang versus the activities given, the complexity of activities ataupun duration given. So this is how they balance out lah. Okay, so dalam coursework nanti you have to understand or factor, consider, justify, find out why this particular such activity required what factor required to determine the contribution of duration. Okay, so in this particular application, you can see in line of balance case study, dia punya idea of operation tadi, because we want to understand the sloping rate tadi. The sloping rate maksudnya the progression rate. So how we understand the punya process tu, the chart, the punya starting and finish of each activity. So the formula we use is number of unit minus 1. Okay, minus 1. Similar kalau you come up with the dalam dalam measurement tu, kalau contohnya macam reinforcement, you ada tolak 1 tambah 1, that's determine dia punya ni lah. Okay, so this is the formula given to you. So number of unit minus 1 times operational duration, which is the time stated there dalam dia punya activity table just now. Okay, for example the duration which is this one lah. Kalau misal kata for foundation 2 and 2, so foundation operational duration is 2, number of gang used is 2. So for example means number of unit to be finished to construct, maksudnya ada yang 1 sampai 10. So means you have to put lah in each number. Maksudnya kalau 10 tolak 1 9. 9 times 2 18. 18 divide by 2 18 divide by 2 9. Macam itulah. So untuk siapkan the unit to be complete dekat 9 unit, 10 unit ke 10, so require about 9 weeks macam tu to find out. Okay, Now we go to construct the line of balance from this particular book lah. Okay, let me stop sharing on this. I open up another this particular document lah. Okay, this is the cover page of this programming. Okay, let's see this one. Okay. All right. So you can see this is the similar point of reference that we talked about previously. And then you can see in this particular item, I highlight in yellow color to highlight the idea ataupun the information that important for you guys to conduct ataupun to construct a line of balance. Number one, you have to understand, you have to identify how many numbers of unit, okay, and then the duration given, the number of gang given, and then what's the buffer for that particular activity on operation. Itu dulu, right? And then you can see we have a 5 operation, so at least we have a 5 buffer in between of that particular operation, okay. And then when we talk about to construct line of balance yang sloping tu saya kata, sloping is reflect kepada progression rate. So mean the progression rate we can check, first. Maksudnya kita check dulu. Macam untuk setiap this particular activity, how that particular sloping table tu, sloping bar chart tu looks like. Okay. Okay. Now how to check or examine the sloping or slope of balance line. You can see how you can construct is from duration divided by line number of gang. Okay, so we have a weeks over here as a duration and divide by the number of gangs. Okay, so and then 2 divided by 2 is 1, 4 divided by 3, 1 divided by 1 dan sebagainya. And then you can see this number is either 1 or 1.33. Okay, and then you can see the indicate over here is the smaller number indicate much faster rate. Okay, nampak tak? So means dekat dalam theoretical part yang saya cerita awal tadi, you can see activity 1 and 2 yang kata brick wall and plastering, right? So is equal je dia punya sloping line yang beza dia buffer dia 3 dah sama, right? But you can see from here in 5 operation over yang listed over here, foundation up until external work, ada yang bit slow, ada yang bit fast. Okay, so kalau kata fast ni ialah 1.0, maksudnya 1.0, 1.33 dia akan jatuh ke kanan lagi, dia akan sending ke kanan. Maksudnya kalau in this particular line, so you can see one line tu dia akan sengit macam ni, another one line is like this. Okay, so macam V shape lah, V shape macam tu. Right, so this we will talk later when to use it. Okay, but the first information that you have to understand is to highlight the important information: unit, week, gang, and slope balance. Okay, and plus the minimum buffer lah. Right. Next, you can see the formula that given to you just now is number of unit minus 1 time operation divided by number of gang used. Okay, so this is to determine what? To determine the start and finish date. Start and finish date, which is the timeline lah. Okay, remember kita buat plot ni ialah timeline versus unit. Timeline versus unit dalam X and Y tadi. Okay, now you can see we start with operation 1, foundation. So we will continue up until operation number 5. Okay, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the sample given to you here, you can see we start unit 1. Operation 1, foundation ni, kita start unit 1, start unit 10. Kenapa tak buat unit 2, unit 3, unit 4, unit 5? Remember, we talk about a line of balance which is repetitive. So we only need 2 points in the graph. Okay, 2 points in the graph to do a straight line. Okay, I mentioned just now, straight line. Maksudnya we plot only 2 dot ataupun 2 titik je, which is 2 point je, supaya kita boleh come up with the straight line. Okay, So that's why we only cover unit 1 and unit 10. So we will start the unit yang first, kemudian yang unit yang akhir. Okay, finish. So mean start of unit 1, we estimate it start with the week 0. Kita cakap week 1, week 0 maksudnya the day the day start lah. Okay, week 0. So finish for start unit. Finish of unit 1, maksudnya finish of unit 1 maksudnya apa? How long it takes for this particular project to start? 2 weeks. 2 weeks untuk siapkan foundation. So means siap dia, finish of unit 1 foundation ni week 2 lah. Sebab it's 2 weeks. Betul kan? Okay. So we have dekat X punya line ni, kalau saya boleh tunjuk dekat sini. Line dia okay, kat sini. This is week unit 1. This is week 0 yang saya katakan. Start unit 1, 0. Finish of unit 1, finish ni kat sini. Ni start, ni finish. Finish of unit 1 ialah 2 minggu because of this particular. So you put you identify the dot line, so you garis. Betul eh? Now, yang kita kata tadi, start of unit 10. So kita gunakan formula tadi, number minus 1 divide times operation divide by gang. Okay, so that's why kata dapat 9. And then nampak tak 9 ada 2 minggu. Kenapa 2 minggu? Because to finish every single foundation ni, whatever unit pun, it takes about 2 weeks. So 9 campur 2, 11. So once you have a point over here, you draw the straight line. Nampak tak? This is activity foundation. Okay, what this information tell you? So number of unit 10. So 10 unit of house untuk foundation dia akan mula pada minggu 9 dan juga akan siap pada minggu 11. Okay, right Okay, you tengok balik dekat sini. Yang kata margin dapat 9 tadi. Okay, this is the start of unit 10. Basically, start with 0 plus 10 minus 1 times 2 divide by 2 gang, 18 by 2, week 9. Okay, start unit 10. So finish unit 10, 9 plus 2. So 9 plus 2, 11. Okay, so you dapat plot tadi kan. And then you can see again, you jumpa balik slope of balance ni. So slope of balance ni 1.02 divide by 2, 1. So you just nak tengok dia punya apa? Dia punya sloping line lah. Dia punya cepat tak cepat. Okay. Right. So repeat the same process for next activity, which is external wall. So we conduct the check and examine the balance line. So you can see 1.33. Apa 1.33? Maksud nampak ni. Because operation 1 is progressing at a faster rate, which is number 1 ni 1. Smaller number means lagi laju. 1.33 is slow bit. So the relationship, so that's why the implication ataupun what we need the contribution ataupun the impact daripada the sloping line tu ialah we want to understand that two particular activity yang mana bertindih atau tidak, ataupun ada tak at any point the activity number 2 akan stand still because of the previous activity. Kan kita dah tunjuk tadi kan activity yang stand still dan sebagainya. So means because of the progress activity number 1 ni is laju lagi, faster. So mean activity number 2 which is external wall ni dia akan ke kanan. Dia akan ke kanan. So means dia tak akan ke kiri, which is dia akan stand still bertemu as a bottleneck dengan operation 1. Okay. So that's why we can simply put the buffer next after that. Okay. So start of unit 1, week 2 plus week 3 buffer. Okay. Kita tengok sekarang ni. So kata week 3 kan. Go to this. Okay. That's why I said you better you download dia punya buku ni, this particular document, and then you can study while I'm explaining to you. So activity number 2, which is tak plot sini kan, which is after foundation, you can see the external wall. So external wall bila nak mula, dia kata immediately, not immediate, tapi 1 week buffer. Okay, after the foundation or finish of unit 1. So dia akan start sini. 2 plus 1 is 3. So 3, and then how long it takes for that particular activity. So tengok balik activity tadi. Berapa activity untuk kerja dia? 4 weeks. 4 weeks. Ni pun 4 weeks. Maksudnya 4 weeks ialah 3 1, 2, 3, 4. Dia akan siap minggu ke-7. Let's check on this. Betul tak? 3, and then you can see 7. So for unit 1, dia akan start external wall pada minggu ke-3 and then siap pada minggu ke-7. Right. So this is betapa simplest lah. You akan dapat satu ni bawah ni dulu. Alright. And then how you determine unit 10 punya progress pada masa bila? Right. So you use the formula just now, number minus 1 times time operation divided by gain. Okay. So dekat sini you can see start of unit 10 week 3. Okay, start of unit 10. Kenapa kata week 3? Sebab week 3 ni you can see from here week 3 plus 10. Ni formula kan? Formula. So 3 plus 36 divided by 3. Kenapa you tak buat 6 divided by 3 only 12? Okay, you can see start of unit 10. Start of unit 10. Okay, start of unit 10. Nampak tak start kat sini? Start kan? Kenapa tak 12 over here? Right. Kenapa dia tak over here? Right? Because you can see, remember just now kita buat sloping previously. 4 divided by 3, number of gang, operation divided by gang. So dapat 1.33. So if we plot 12 over here and then we can see 3 over here and then we can got same line, maksudnya apa? It's not comply with the slope tadi, sloping rate tadi, right? So kalau you can see, kalau you buat macam ni, baru you akan dapat comply with that particular information tadi. So week 3 plus 12 tadi. Week 3, you can see week 3 1, 2, 3 start of week 3 plus 12. Okay, plus 12. Nampak Kenapa tak di 12 ini? Sebab kita campur 3. Okay, that's why the information related here you can see start of unit 10 is equal to week 3 plus yang number of formula ni, the formula given. So the 3 plus 12 which is 15. Okay. So week 3 itu akan masuk dalam unit 10 tadi. Start of unit 10, start of unit 10. This is start. Unit 10 kat mana nak pakai? So kita start with this and then after that kita akan dapat unit 3 sebab kita akan 1, 2, 3. 3 sini. 3 campur 12. So dapat 15. So 15 ni akan over here lah. Alright, one plot and then number 3. So 3 to 15. Okay, baru dia comply dengan sloping rate 9. Okay, sloping rate which is 1 and 1.33. Okay. Okay, so now,
Doctor,
yes saya.
for the bar graph just now,
Okay.
it doesn't have to be parallel to each other.
No need to parallel each other. Why I say like that? Because in every single activity, dia punya label, gang is different. Betul tak?
Yes.
And then you can see the foundation is only take 2 weeks to complete in every single one unit. Nampak? And then for external wall, 4 weeks to complete the external wall. Perhaps because of the size of the area, dan juga the numbers of. This is because of the numbers of area. Maksudnya kalau planning manager tengok sini, foundation only takes 2 weeks. Maksudnya kerja foundation tak banyak. Ataupun the number volume of foundation punya activity untuk core, untuk apa sebagainya tak banyak. Compare dengan external wall, the whole 10 unit of building ni ataupun satu single unit rumah ni, kalau you compare dengan 3 meter tinggi kali dengan 20 kaki kali 70 kaki rumah kan, contohnya, so you akan dapat, external wall ni banyak ni, satu unit. So you require about 4 weeks to complete. Okay, 4 weeks. Faham So that's why dia kemudian yang kata kenapa tak parallel, because untuk tentukan sloping line, dia punya major factornya adalah how many numbers of workers, how many numbers of gang that you use to complete this particular activity. So that's why kita buat tadi ni, kita start at the foundation and external wall ni, kita calculate the sloping line dulu. Kita examine the sloping line. So means this is lagi laju daripada external wall. Okay. Kalau you kata foundation dengan external wall is 4 divided by 4 is 1, maksudnya kita ada masalah. Kita akan start 3 plus over here kat sini. So akan jadi 1, 2, 3, 4 over here. Akan siap minggu 16 instead of minggu 19 kan. But now we have to comply because we check tadi tu 1.33. So maksudnya dia akan lebih ke kanan, skewed ke kanan. Which is lagi lewat lah. Kenapa saya kata lewat? Because you can compare like this. Kalau ambil number 5 over here. So 5, you can see from here, compare dengan foundation, 5 dengan 5. But now you can see it take longer time. Kalau kita buat macam ni tadi, foundation, kalau external wall like this, straight line with the foundation, macam ni. So kita kata minggu 5, you lead ke 5, dia akan dia akan mula pada hari minggu ke-8. Macam tu. But now, kalau 1.33, you akan nampak tak? You akan start pada 2 minggu selepasnya. Yang sama line minggu 5 ni. Pen saya tak ada pula. Dia tak jumpa pula yang saya nak conteng ni. Okay, so you can see from here. So this is determine yang lewat. Campur pula ada buffer pula kan in between. Macam tu. Alright. Okay.
And one
Yeah.
of the
Yeah.
and gang is a group of people, right?
Gang, a group of people, correct.
So each work have the same number of workers in each gang. Does it plays a role in determining the
Okay. Alright.
aerobic?
So yes, it's a play the role. For example, gang can be 2 plus 1. Maksudnya 2 semi-skilled or unskilled worker plus one skilled workers. So that's what we call it, one gang, consists of 3 members. And then if you say about another one gang of plastering, we have 3 plus 2. Alright. So the number of workers different in the number of members gang dalam gang different. Yes, that's play a role, right? So that's why in this particular book ataupun Cook punya sample ni, they only determine the gang size number macam tu. But in tutorial I given to you, the question tutorial given to you with step by step lah dalam after this in e-learning, they will mention to you even number 1 the details of gang tu, dalam satu gang ada berapa orang, okay, and then of course number 2 ialah the working days ataupun working time, working duration for each gang. So 8 jam bekerja ke, 6 hours bekerja ke dan sebagainya. So that's more accurate in that particular sense lah, for you guys to construct a foundation macam ni. Okay.
But for the calculation, we just take gangs, the number of gang only.
Yes, right.
No need to be
Betul?
specific.
To be specific, to be accurate, just what I mentioned just now lah. You have to determine how many numbers of members dalam gang, how many hours working for each gang tu dan sebagainya. Remember after this, dalam this particular topic dan juga site management, productivity rate dan sebagainya, you akan come across the same idea lagi sekali. It's not application, but it's the extension of this. Okay, for example, dalam satu number of gang, you can see ada work study, work sampling, which is yang Dr. Razali akan cover after semester break. For example, dalam work sampling, so you have to count how many numbers of hours yang untuk dalam masa 1 jam that particular workers tu can complete the constant ataupun the labor constant tu untuk siapkan in 1 meter square of plastering in how many hours. So this is what the idea behind it lah. So after that barulah you boleh accurately apply that particular work sampling dalam line of balance. Faham tak? Now we give you the idea, the line of balance dia punya the simplest form of line of balance, we have to understand duration with gang. Okay, how many number of gang tu, the detail is under the calculation of work sampling. Okay, Dev and then.
Yes, I do. Okay.
Okay, alright, thank you. Okay, now sample given here for operation number 3, which is roof construction. So under roof construction, again we examine the line of balance. So 1/1, so 1 lah. So means what? The roof construction should be parallel dia punya line slope itu dengan the operation number 1, which is foundation. Okay, so means what? Roof operation is faster than the external wall. Betul tak? Okay, kenapa saya kata betul? Cuba tengok sini. Yang saya skip terus kat sini. This is parallel, foundation and roof. Parallel kan? Dengan ni. Sebab this is same slope gradient. 1/1, which is 1. Okay, different 1. Okay, 2 divided by 2, this one is 3 divided by 3 tadi. 1 divided by 1, so 1. So, nampak tak? Roof ni dia akan apa? Akan cepat. Kalau let's say kata kalau kita buat kat sini, remember just now tadi, external wall, bukan external wall, every single activity ataupun activities lah, foundation ataupun operation ni, foundation, external wall, operation, roof, the minimum buffer should be one week. Betul tak? 1 week. Let's say kalau you put the buffer 1 week, start with week 8, and then immediately you plot the number, you move this one over here, apa jadi? Once you achieve je dekat sini, the become standstill. The roof cannot be done. Nampak tak? That's the point ataupun the important of to examine or to assess the roof, the gradient ataupun the sloping progress tadi. Because to determine the progress. So what nak tengok kat mana? Nak tengok dekat mana minimum buffer. So you can see from here, nampak tak? From 19 to 20, you have 1 week. So means that's comply with yang requirement contractor tadi. Dia perlukan setiap minggu, setiap operation gap which is 1 week buffer. So mean they akan start from week 10. Dia akan calculate from week 10. Bukan start, calculate week 10, and then after that dia akan go backward. Backward maksudnya dia come back the operation for start unit 1. So baru dapat macam ni. Untuk apa? Untuk elakkan become standstill. Right? Right. So mungkin you kata kalau dah kira macam ni, maksudnya external wall ni tak cukup orang lah. That's the idea of the decision should be made by the project manager at earlier phase. Okay, maksudnya you can see, external wall ni kita hanya ada 4 gang je tadi. So perhaps we need to put more gang, 6 gang. So the question back to the project manager, is it optimized ataupun is it worth it? Nampak tak? Worth it in term of what? In term of critical path ke, critical activity, that's become a critical activity ke, ataupun that's contribute much dan sebagainya. Sebab remember, the external wall, mungkin you kata, cepatlah siap, tambah gang. Bila you tambah gang, every single, bila you put the external wall over here, you get the slope similar to the foundation 1/1. You can see macam ni kan. 11 ni sampai ke 12 ni siap untuk week 10. So in this particular case, when you move the external wall, every single yang tadi ni semua move. At least satu foundation 1, external wall and roof, you move. But you tengok balik, external wall and internal wall, there's a share same trade. Betul tak? Share the same trade. Trade-nya apa? Maksudnya orang yang tukang plaster lah. Bukan tukang plaster, tukang plaster dan juga buat brick layer. Okay? Plasterer dan juga brick layer. You need another 6 gang lagi. Instead of you pakai 4, ni mungkin pakai 3, so 7. Kalau you tambah lagi 2, ni tambah lagi 3, contohnya dapat 5 gang. You have to fork your the expenses lah. You kena keluarkan duit untuk tambahkan gang because of you want to buat sebagainya. To siapkan cepat. Tapi at the end you akan rugi. Because why akan rugi? Because you determine the contract first. You determine to sign the contract, berapa harga, berapa you calculate dan sebagainya. But kalau the smart contractor, they will come out with first. Dia kira number of housing unit, what's the quantity dan sebagainya, and then they count how many numbers of workers they have in hand. Sebab sometimes the contractor have many projects in hand. So kadang-kadang dia tak boleh ambil external wall ni 2 gang, kena tarik 4 gang. So that particular project yang kat sana kena stop, stand still, tak boleh. So this is the optimum solution for them lah, kalau dalam this particular case. Alright, and then you can see the dotted line ni, this is the dotted line yang actual lah sebenarnya ataupun plan lah. Tapi dalam this particular book yang by Cook ni, dia tak tunjuk sampai habis. Okay, that's the things that require you to do on your own, to calculate untuk operation number 4 and operation number 5. Okay, right. What the important finding from once you finish the internal works ataupun operation 5 yang last ni. So at the end you can tahu siapnya 10 unit of housing, you can determine the completion date of this particular project. Okay, which is 32 days. Nampak? 32 days ni come from here. Kalau last time, kalau kita buat network diagram, kita akan buat forward pass, backward pass, yang mana tambah, yang mana from right, from left, we can count from forward pass, we have to add the bigger number untuk dapat determine the early start, kemudian the finish start dan sebagainya. But now, in this particular case, we don't find that particular information, because we tak tahu kat mana tarikh start dan sebagainya. But what we have to understand is the relation of progress, the productivity rate dalam this particular unit. Okay, alright. So my question to you guys, in this kita dah belajar 3 or 4, 4 lah yang big one, CPM pun ada activity on arrow, activity on network, which is precedent diagram, ada PERT, ada this one line of balance. Dalam banyak-banyak ni, dalam 3 or 4 ni, which one yang you rasa useful and can be applied easily in any project if you come out, bila you dah graduate ke ataupun you bila intern nanti ke? Anyone can have their own opinion? Ataupun saya try to simplify my question. For line of balance, okay, for line of balance, even we know this is the application apply dia untuk certain project yang repetitive dan juga require multi-story dan sebagainya, right? But how you see this particular line of balance can be applied ataupun can be useful to the contractor or the decision maker or project planner? Is it useful or not? Anyone? Can I have your feedback into of this understanding of the line of balance?
Doctor.
Doctor? Yeah. Okay.
Suppose this completion date is 32 weeks, right? Not days.
32 weeks. Yep. Based on the completion of last activity, which is internal works.
Oh, okay.
So this is the completion date lah. Okay.
But that means the one in the slide here supposed to be weeks lah, Doctor.
Ni weeks ke day?
Weeks patutnya.
Weeks patutnya. Buku pun boleh salah kan? So this is what we call it as 32 weeks lah. Supposedly 32 weeks. This is the one. Weeks, kalau you put weeks, the whole ni should be weeks. Mana boleh tiba week tu kat hari? Unless kalau weeks tu you convert times 7, tak apa. So dia akan bertambah lah. If not, based from the 1, 2, 3, for example, 2 weeks, they mention about 2 weeks to complete one foundation, 4 weeks for external wall. So at the end should be weeks. Okay, thank you for your input. Okay.
Doctor.
Yeah, sorry.
Can you repeat again what is the dotted line that garis putus-putus tu?
Okay, the dotted line here basically is you can see the foundation, external wall, roof, smooth straight line kan? Okay, because the sample given in this particular book only up until operation 3. You can see operation 3. And then once the operation 3 finish, they start to give you saya kecil sikit. Sorry. Okay, so you can see from here, let's see. Okay, masih kecil. Nampak tak? This particular page 352, 332, 333. Nampak? So in this particular book, the author doesn't provide you the sample for calculation for operation 4, 5, and 6. So 4, 5, and 6, but the sample answer the 4, 5, on 4 and 5 only lah. So the sample answer is given here, but without the calculation. So that's why they put
Oh,
the dotted line
okay,
lah.
okay.
But
Okay,
this is
okay.
the final one lah. But this is the final. Supposedly this is from the calculation based from step by step. The actual finding. This is the 32 weeks lah. Kalau kata weeks saya weeks lah. Okay. Okay, boleh Okay, so the main idea of line of balance, number one tadi adalah to show the program project planner ataupun construction manager or project manager the progressing rate of activity dalam that particular unit to be complete. For example, in one single unit comprised of foundation, external wall, roof, internal wall sebagainya kan. So this is why the project manager, the contractor, even the subcontractor can figure out the progressing rate of foundation of all operation dalam to complete the one single unit. Okay, so that's the different lah ataupun the main idea yang the extension of idea daripada yang CPM dan sebagainya. Because in CPM, the only things that you kalau you aware, CPM ke PERT pun sama. You only give the time. Kalau CPM deterministic. Deterministic ni maksudnya you determine one single time. Maksudnya kalau buat foundation, it take about 4 weeks to complete untuk the whole foundation. But untuk PERT, you come up with a probabilistic time ataupun time range. Ada yang optimistic, ada yang pessimistic dan juga ada most likely time. So you bagi 3 point of estimating time. Okay, but in this particular 3 dengan 1 tadi, 3 point of estimate and 1 point estimate. But the justification behind it, behind the network atau behind the time given tadi tu, only the project manager ataupun the planner tahu. Betul tak? Because kalau you tanya dia kenapa boleh dapat 3 ni? Kenapa boleh dapat 3 numbers? Nanti dia akan cerita because of this, because of we estimate this. But what the factor or the imply ataupun the reason behind the estimation tu. So is it the number of gang used, the method of works ataupun the method statement being used dan sebagainya. Macam tu lah. But in line of balance, the important, the finding ataupun the most information yang dia tarik tu adalah berkaitan dengan progressing rate, which is the number of gang used dalam this particular activity. Itu yang bezanya. Tapi dia ada limitation, which is only required for this particular activity yang based on unit base. Unit base maksudnya satu unit, satu story dan 2-3 story dan sebagainya. Right? Itu je dia punya limitation. But it's quite useful for kalau that particular limitation ataupun scope tu, maksudnya projek yang repetitive dan juga multi story, activity tu boleh tengok dia punya sloping rate, progressing rate. That's become useful for that particular contractor or project manager. Okay.
Doktor.
Ya saya. Siapa tu?
Sorry doktor, saya nak tanya.
Izzah.
Yang kan daripada foundation dah siap, lepas tu buat external wall kan. Yang tu kan doktor kata itu 1 week buffer kan.
Ya.
Beza 1 week tu, lepas tu macam mana nak tahu daripada external wall buat yang roof tu pula dia punya gap time tu.
Maksudnya kalau ni nampak ni 7 sampai 11, betul?
Betul.
Okay, alright. So 7 sampai 11 ni nampak tak sini? Dia 4 minggu kan? Patut tadi nak 1 week buffer saja. You tengok dekat atas ni, yang dekat sini. Yang 10 ni. 19, 20. Dia comply tak yang 1 week buffer ni? Comply kan? Okay, yang ni pula. Roof dengan internal wall. 12, 13. Dia comply kan? Kemudian internal wall dia macam ni. Tapi you tengok kat atas balik. 1 week buffer. Masih comply. Okay. So questionnya ialah, kenapa ada yang mula kat atas, ada yang mula kat bawah? Alright. So, saya ulang sekali lagi. Sebab tadi saya kata, kita buat step tadi tu ada examine the sloping rate. Remember tadi? Yang kita buat for 1.00, 1.33, 1, 1.33, 1.33, ini satu yang kat sini. Saya besarkan sikit. This one, ni. duration number of gang ni. Kita buat ni, sloping rate ni. Okay. Apa tujuan dekat sini? Saya highlightkan dekat sini. Dekat sini, dia kata ni. Operation number 2, external wall. Ini contoh dia bagi dah dalam buku. Kita tengok Once dia dapat 1.33, siapa nama tadi tu? You can see progressing faster rate. Okay, bila faster rate, maksudnya dia tak nak kita immediately after this, after foundation, dia akan start after external wall. After external wall, dia tak akan buat dekat sini. 1 week kat sini. Sebab apa? Because the next line, which is activity roof ni, dia sama slope dengan foundation. Bila dia sama slope, kalau buat kat 8, dia akan jadi apa? Stand still. Dia tak boleh. Mana boleh buat roof kalau external wall tak siap lagi? Nampak tak? So apa yang kena buat ialah kena buat buffer dia tu hanya tahu selepas week 10 dia siap. Kenapa dia tak buat week 10? Week 5 ke week 7 ke? Sebab dia nak tengok dekat mana? Dekat yang apa? Dekat yang paling last sekali. Sebab rumah tu nak siap 10 kan? Okay, so dia akan ambil kat sini. Okay, so you tengok cara kira pun nampak kat sini start of house unit 10. Perasan tak? Saya buat highlight nombor 10. Sebelum ni dia akan mula calculation dia start of unit 1. Baru you buat 10. But now dia terbalik. 10 dulu baru 1.
Oh, okey. Faham doktor.
So dia akan dapatlah week 19 campur buffer week 20. So start of unit 1 pula dia terbalik. 20 tolak. So tolak because dia nak backward. Dia nak backward tu supaya dia tak nak clash standstill tadi tu. Itu je punya trick dia pun. Kalau you perasan kan dalam line of balance ni simple je. You only determine the two plot you determine 2 point and then you garis, which is the line, the straight line. Okay, satu, kenapa saya kata apa line dia? Satu you determine kat sini, kosong. Lepas tu you determine kat sini, dapat buat garisan satu, betul kan? Ya, saya pakai ni lah, saya pakai bukan pen, saya pakai tangan je ni. You dapat point kat sini, right? And then after that, ini start of unit 1. Start of unit 10, bila start kat mana? Start ni yang mula-mula point ni, ni start. Ni pun start. Start mana? Start unit 10. Okay, so yang ini finish. Yang ini finish. Yang ini start, ni pun finish. Ni pun start kan? Okay, start unit 1, 2 minggu dia buat, dia kata. So bila dah start, dia akan kira yang nak start minggu 9 pula. So macam apa dia punya formula yang tadi tu? N tolak 1, yang ni kurungan, itulah kurungan, pakai pensil tak ada. Kalilah dengan dia punya time dia, yang ini bahagi dengan gang kan. So bila dapat tadi 10 tolak 1 9, 9 kali 2 18, 18 bagi 2 9. So dapatlah minggu ke-9 start. Okay, bila start you garis yang ini daripada point, itulah daripada point ni garis kat sini. So bila dah dapat ni pun sama juga, dah tahu start, you tambahlah 2 kat sini, dia punya jarak masa kat sini, which is dah bagi 2 kat table tadi kan. So you dapat ni garis kat sini. Itulah susah kalau tak ada ni. Kalau kat whiteboard ni senang ni, kalau kita belajar fizikal ni, seronok subjek ni. So kita tarik 2 sini, lepas tu dapat start, dapat point, 1 siap foundation. So once you start like this, you kena tahu pula the next activity, the next external wall ni, slope dia macam mana. Kalau slope dia ni cepat, ni slow kan. Ni kecil, ni maksudnya ni faster rate, tinggi, which is yang determined by 1.00 yang sloping tadi. Yang ni 1.33. Kenapa 1.33? Maksudnya number duration bagikan gang. Okay, so and then kalau kita tengok balik kat ujung ni, nampak tak? Yang ini sama dengan yang ni. Dia punya slope. Ni sama dengan ni. Kalau tengok foundation, roof, internal works. Cuba tengok atas sekali saya dah buat key calculation. Foundation, roof, external work. Nampak tak? 3 kan? 3 yang sama bentuk dia. 1, 2, 3. Kat sini tulis internal work. Yang kat buku ni atas ni dia tulis apa? External work. Buku pun salah. Internal. Okay, internal works. Okay, boleh?
Okay, faham. Thank you, Doktor.
Alright, good. Thank you. So, ada soalan lain? Kalau tak ada, saya nak tutup. Stop sharing. Okay, so we have 80 student participant over here. So hopefully you log into e-learning to record your attendance lah. Alright, so test 41. The next ataupun the following ni after this macam saya kata lah test, and then after test followed semester break, and then semester break you akan naik you ada satu topik berkaitan dengan use of Microsoft Project ataupun software in project planning, right? So unfortunately kita tak ada access direct ke lab lah because we are not physically dekat UTM campus. So what I'm trying to do, macam saya kata di hari tu, tak tahulah saya cakap the same cohort ataupun the another cohort tidak. Kita akan buat saya akan invite one of the practitioner yang use the Primavera project, Microsoft project, okay, yang will give you demonstrate on how on how the it works lah, on how they apply the work program ni dalam that particular practice yang day to day dia punya kerja. Memang dia kerja dia as a senior planner dekat that company, right? Okay, so kalau tak ada apa-apa, thank you very much. And okay, before that, once minggu 9 tu, minggu 10 onward sampai semester finish, you will be taught by Dr. Razali. Okay, so I guess this is the last session lah dalam kuliah, yang give a kuliah. The next week nanti dalam test, you will be see me again lah dalam invigilate. I'm as an invigilator dalam your test. Okay, so thank you very much. Selamat tengah hari. Okay, and Assalamualaikum.
Thank you, Doktor.
Thank you, Doktor.
Thank you, Doctor.